Hello everyone and welcome back to the Awesome Physio YouTube channel. Today we are continuing with our massager gun series and we're going to be focusing on how to relieve knee pain. So with the gun today we're going to be using two of their different heads. So similar to what we looked at with the lower back, we're going to be using the puffy head to get a wide surface area in particular into the quadriceps muscles, and then to be more specific around the kneecap to help with knee pain, we're going to be using the pointy head in order to relieve some of that pressure. So the best thing to do when massaging around the knee is to use the puffy head to get that really nice global release. So the key muscles that are involved in any kind of pain or tightness around the knees are typically the quadriceps, attaching from the hip all the way down into the kneecap and around the kneecap. So what's really important is when you're moving up, which you can see here, is that you're starting from the kneecap and then working your way up in a straight line all the way up to the hip joint. So you might want to repeat one area 3 to 4 times as you're going up and down that side until it feels really nice and soft. What you're then going to do is work your way around. So I always start on the outer part, but again that's just personal preference. Work up from the kneecap all the way up to the hip and then work your way around the leg. So it's really important that you're going from the outer part all the way into the inner part. So again, another question that was asked previously on our other massager videos with the massager gun is I would start at a point where you can feel it working, so it will be a little bit tender, but you want to feel that softening. So maybe a level 3 or 4 might be quite good, because as you get used to it over time, that's when you can add on more or a higher speed with the massager gun. Same here, so you see we're coming from the kneecap up into the inner thigh. So on most people where we're working here, which is obviously on the inner fibers of the quadriceps going into the adductors, it's typically really tender, so it's quite a tender area anyway. So you might find that you want to do a lower setting around this point to help relieve pressure, because obviously if there's tightness on the inner thigh, again that's going to be pulling down into the kneecap, possibly aggravating that soreness. What I've also added in here, which again I think is quite nice, is working down into the shin a little bit. We want to make sure that we're releasing down lower below the kneecap as well, so any surrounding tightness, but the most important muscles I would say are going to be your quadriceps, your adductors, and then here as you can see your hamstrings. So very similar, where the hamstrings attach around the back of the knee, you're going to work your way up. So the best position I could find would be lying supine, so lying prone, so lying on my tummy. Again, it can be quite a difficult area to massage on yourself, so you might want to ask for some help with this if you are struggling with flexibility in terms of leaning backwards. But very similar thing to what we did around the front. So you want to start from the kneecap all the way up to your sitting bones, to your ischial tuberosity, so just at the bottom of kind of the glute area, which you can see here. And again, you want to work your way all the way around, either starting outer moving in or inner moving out. Really important, again using that puffy head for that global release. Now we can start to be a little bit more specific. So it's very common with tightness in the quadriceps that a lot of the specific tightness is around the kneecap. So what I would use is using the pointy head of the massager gun. I would work my way round the top of the kneecap, so gently moving round almost in like an upside U shape, working around here, which you can see. So you're starting from the edge, working your way around. What you then want to do, once you've done that a couple of times, is find some really specific points of tightness and release. So what you'll find is when you push up into the muscle, you'll feel almost like a little nodule that just feels very tender. So what you can do to trigger point release is taking the pointy part of the massager gun and just holding it very specifically over that point. So again, there's lots of different ways. So we want to go around the kneecap first, either in an upside down U or tiny little movements up, similar to what we did before, and then we want to find the specific point. So you'll feel it, yeah, really tight on a certain point, hold that pressure and let it relax. Of course that can be repeated into the hamstring, but most commonly, as you can see here, it's little points around the quadriceps. So I would add this massager routine into your general mobility and stretching routine for the lower body. Great after leg day, but just bear in mind it's going to be tender and you want to build the power up over time.